Hello viewers, this is Chris from motorheads.com, and I quickly wanted to do a comparison between the facelifted Tesla Model Y, codenamed Juniper, which actually refers to a shrub that doesn't lose its leaves, and the 2025 Porsche Macan Electric. Now, this won't be an apples to apples comparison, but when you take price into consideration, it is possible to look at a slightly higher spec variant of the Tesla and the most affordable variant of the Macan Electric. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So we're going to be comparing an all-wheel drive Model Y Juniper versus the base model Macan Electric. Now, Porsche finally took the plunge with the Macan going electric last year as its second EV. But given how the market dynamics have changed with EVs sales slowing down over the past year or so, the gas-powered Macan is going to be sticking around. But you have four variants that are available across the Macan electric lineup. As for the Tesla, I mean, it continues to enjoy, the Model Y in particular continues to enjoy a lot of market domination. But however, there's increasing pressure from markets like China, where there is a lot of local competition, which is what warranted Tesla to facelift the Model Y. And hence we have the Juniper. In fact, it was so popular in markets where it has been launched already that Tesla has already racked up 50,000 orders on the very first day. So how do these two cars stack up? Let me give you a quick rundown about it. So I mean, the Macan features a 100 kilowatt hour battery, 800 volt architecture, and 270 kilowatts of DC fast charging, which roughly translates to about 20 minutes to 80% of charge. And if we're talking about range, you're looking at about 315 miles. So that's a massive improvement compared to the older gen Taycans, the first gen Taycans, for example. On the base Taycan, for instance, I mean, back in the day, it was just 208 miles. So these next gen models from Porsche, all electric models, are offering significantly better tech and battery capacity, range, etc. The Model Y, I mean, it features an 80 kilowatt hour battery pack. This particular one here, DC fast charging up to 250 kilowatts, and you can rely on Tesla's fantastic supercharger network. It's quite extensive, so you can really bank on that. And as for the range, you're looking at 343 miles on this particular model. So I think Tesla still continues to enjoy that advantage of having software and hardware, just like Apple does, where everything is a lot more seamless. I think Porsche is playing catch up, but with the ability to charge at Tesla superchargers very soon, with NACS becoming the standard, I think other automakers will also, continue to build on this and enjoy Tesla's vast, extensive supercharger network. So range anxiety will hopefully become a thing of the past as this EV slowdown is happening. Hopefully, the infrastructure, catches up with the cars that are being built out. Moving on to performance. Okay, so on this particular rear-wheel drive base Macan, you're looking at 355 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. Again, going to the rear wheels, 0 to 60 comes up in about 5.4 seconds. Meanwhile, on the all-wheel drive long-range Model Y, you're looking at a 0 to 60 miles per. You're looking at 384 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. So it's slightly underpowered, but you're going to get better off-the-line traction, 4.9 seconds to 60 miles an hour. Top speed is slightly slower on the on the Tesla at 125 miles an hour, so it's limited to 125. Porsche is going to be slightly quicker, about 10 miles an hour quicker, 136. And in terms of weight, the Model Y is significantly lighter at 4,300 pounds, whereas 5,000 pounds for the Macan. So you can see that the Porsche is going to be carry a lot more heft in terms of towing capacity. 4,400 for the Macan, and 3,500 for the Tesla. So that's how the performance numbers stack up on both of these head to head. In terms of offering chassis features and dynamics, the Porsche, I think, is still going to be a lot more superior in this aspect because it's a Porsche first and an EV second. So you're going to get adaptive air suspension, optional rear wheel steering, regen braking, all that could aid in the way it delivers power to the road. Whereas on the Tesla, you're looking at things that it excels at, especially things like the option of full self-driving. Then you have standard all-wheel drive on this particular model, of course. Uh, but Tesla is all about efficiency compared to Porsche, where it puts more precedence on driving dynamics. So they're going to differ in that aspect on how they drive. But I think the gap between the two, I think Tesla is slightly, with every generation, they're working on the things that have you know kept them behind the competition. Things like build quality, driving dynamics. I think especially with the Plaid models, so there is a lot of improvement that's also happening in the dynamics department. Moving on to aesthetics. So the Porsche, I mean, it looks typically like a Porsche. It's recognizable from a mile away. It draws a lot from the gas-powered Macan. It looks more evolutionary than revolutionary. Very cliche term, I know, but I think it's got a slightly longer wheelbase, and which should, in theory, translate to better interior room. The wheels have been pushed out to without the ICE engine, internal combustion engine there. So you have a slightly longer wheelbase. I think it looks a lot more traditional in terms of having a standard SUV silhouette, so to speak. You have a rear light bar as well, which is kind of becoming an industry norm now. So it's very typically recognizable. You have some distinctive wheel designs that are unique to the Macan Electric. 1920 20-inch alloy wheels come as standard. And up front, you've got the 4-point, an evolution of the 4-point LED daytime running lights. The main headlight cluster, of course, sits within the bumper. Moving on to the Tesla, I think it's a radical shift compared to the outgoing model, especially that front end with its Cybertruck and Cybercab inspired light bar, and you have a far more aggressive looking bumper. Again, here as well, you have the main headlights sitting lower down in the front bumper. You have a much flatter hood. And moving to the rear as well, again, not really visible here in this particular shade of red, but you have a full length light bar on the Tesla as well. You have some new wheel designs, 19 and 20-inch wheels. So that's as far as the exterior design highlights are concerned. Moving inside, I think the Porsche is going to be a lot more traditional. Now, compared to the gas-powered Macan, I mean, if you recall, you had a bunch of buttons on the center console. Porsche is also moving in that direction of including more touch screens. So you've got a central 12-inch unit here, 10.9 inches on for the central infotainment, and you also have an optional screen available now for the passenger. But you do still find some buttons on the steering wheel, traditional stock, drive mode adjuster here. So things are a lot more traditional, I would say, in the Porsche. Standard features: heated, ventilated front seats, keyless entry, premium audio and multiple speakers. You can also spec it up, of course, to the Burmester Hi-Fi, which is a $5,000 option. On the Tesla, things continue to remain just as minimalist as before. But there are certain markets which will get, the turn signal stock now, instead of the buttons that were there on the steering wheel. Everything is done through this main central 15-inch screen. I personally wish they had at least something to display the vitals right in front of the driver. I think they didn't do it on the Model 3, but they should have at least attempted at doing that, given the volumes in which the Model Y sells. Again, here you've got heated front seats, ventilated as well, and you also have the option of a rear screen for passengers. You also have acoustic glass and a massive single piece sunroof that which is not adjustable, so it's just a single piece glass roof that allows a flood of light into the cabin, so it feels nice and airy. So traditional, more analog versus Tesla is going to be continue to be digital, because Tesla is a tech company first before being a car company. So coming to prices, I mean, this the base Macan starts at 77,295, whereas the Tesla, I mean, I looked at the Australian prices, so it's 73,000 change Australian, which roughly converts to about 45 US. So this is the top spec model that is available for now, but I do believe there could be a high performance Model Y variant coming, joining the lineup maybe for around 58,000 US dollars. So that, I suppose, would be a lot more powerful, but in terms of price, it would be closer to that base Macan. Now, which one of these would I personally prefer? I mean, I'm not really a fan. I think Tesla's done a brilliant job, and you're going to continue to have a fantastic experience in terms of the hardware and software, the interplay between the two, and with the excellent supercharger network. I think they're going to continue to have an edge over the competition, especially stateside. But I think for me personally, I'm a fan of the way the Porsche looks. And also, given that you will now have the ability to also charge, top up your car at a Tesla supercharger, I think that one monopoly that Tesla previously enjoyed, I think other owners of other EV brands are also going to jump in on that. And so it's the market is kind of shrinking in that aspect. Everyone is getting onto the NACS platform. So I would personally prefer the Porsche. I mean, if you had the budget, would you be willing to stretch and cash, splurge on a Porsche? I mean, given that it does offer the superior driving dynamics, and it really needs to be seen if Tesla's caught up on the build quality aspect, which Porsche usually excels at. So in these two aspects, I think it could very well just be worth the premium. But with Porsche, I mean, they're notorious for options. I spec'd out a base model the way I liked it, and it came out to just under $100,000. So you are going to be paying quite a bit more over there. But if you're looking at a sports car, I mean, the Macan is going to be your ticket to actually getting a Porsche sports car. So please let me know in the comments below about what you think about these two cars. All right, and for more on how these two compare, an in-depth view at the specifications, standard features, etc., please go check out the link in the description, and subscribe to the Motorheads channel for more exclusive Porsche content. Cheers, guys.